Hi. In this video, we will introduce you to Power Query in Excel.
Let's learn about a very useful tool in Excel called Power Query. Power Query is a data transformation and preparation tool, and it's built into Excel and Power BI. Power Query helps users to gather, clean, and reshape data from multiple sources into formats that's ready for analysis. You can think of it as a way to simplify and automate the process of handling messy data. With Power Query, you can connect to various data sources like databases, files, online services, and so on. You can also filter, transform, and combine data without altering the original source. Power Query also helps to automate repetitive data preparation tasks. It uses a user-friendly interface with point-and-click options, but it also has advanced features for users who are familiar with coding with its M language. It's very popular with people working with large data sets and people who need to prepare dashboards and reports efficiently. Power Query is also called Get and Transform Data. Power Query automates getting and cleaning data, and it can load data to Power Pivot or the Excel grid. Power Query conducts what's called ETL operations. That means extract, transform, and load. So it can extract data from various data sources, transform and clean it, and then load it onto Excel or Power Pivot. Transformations applied to the data are called queries. This is a very efficient way of working with large data sets. Once you create a query, you can reuse it on data, and when data updates or refreshes, the query basically updates with the new data. Queries are reusable and dynamic, and when your source data updates, the queries will automatically work on the new updated data and give you the results. For Excel versions earlier to 2016, Power Query has to be installed as an add-in feature. If you got Excel 2016 or later version like 365, it's already there as an inbuilt feature. You can access it by going to the Data tab, and then under Get and Transform Data section, you'll see there's Get Data. This is basically your Power Query. From here, you can load data into Excel from various sources. From files, you can get from Excel files, CSV files, text files, and JSON, PDFs, and so on. And you also can get from databases, from Azure, from Power Platform, and other sources. So as you can see, you can import data from a wide range of data sources into Power Query. Once you load data into Excel, you can transform the data using different tools for cleaning, restructuring, transforming data. You can do things like removing duplicates, data filtering, splitting columns, merging data, pivoting, and so on. To apply the transformations, you can use the Power Query editor. You can also combine data from various sources inside the Power Query. Like you can take data from Excel files, CSV files, PDF files, and so on, and combine them together. Once you have cleaned and transformed the data inside the Power Query, you can load data into Excel or you can load it into Power Pivot, Power BI. Once you have transformed and cleaned your data in Power Query, you can load the data either to Excel, Power Pivot, or Power BI. You can also connect Power Query to data sources so that data will get refreshed automatically when the data sources are updated.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to check out our top-selling CPD certified Excel courses and our awesome Excel training app. Our innovative Excel training app allows you to take our Excel courses inside your Excel application itself, giving you a truly immersive learning experience. Hello. In this video, we will learn how to use the Power Query in Excel.
Now we'll look at getting data into Power Query from different data sources. So a popular data source is, of course, the web, where you can get economic data and so on. So you can also get current data so that when the website updates, our Excel Power Query will extract the updated data. So let's say I want to get some GDP data from this website. So it has the countries, the last GDP, previous, and then the reference, and then units. So it has some GDP data for several countries. So if I copy and paste this into Excel, it won't update when the data updates. So let me first copy this link. And then I go into Excel. And from here, I will go to data, and under the get and transform section, I will give the data sources from web. So I will select from web, and here I will paste the URL and click OK. So now it's connected to the website. So here you see these tables are basically data that it has taken from the website. So we can select which of these tables I need. So if I click on the first one, so this is basically the table of data I need to extract. If I go to web view, I can see the data on the website. So this is what I want, United States, so on. So the GDP data. So what I can do is I come here and then click on load. So load will basically load down the data to our Excel. So I got the data nicely organized into a table like this. So formatting has got applied because it's in a table form now. So whenever I want to update the data with the website, all I need to do is come here, go to refresh, and click on refresh all. So that will update all the data from the website onto our Excel sheet. Also, as you can notice, we have inserted a new sheet into our workbook, table 1, and this is where our new website data resides. And it has a dynamic link onto the website, which we can refresh to update. We can also get live stock data onto Excel using Power Query. So let's say I want some stocks here. So I'll type in the names, Apple, IBM, and Microsoft. So I want these 3 stocks current prices. So what I need to do is I just select the stock names. Then, so under data, I go to data type section. Here you can see stocks. I then click on stocks. And then you see this. Then you see these connections have come in. So that's why the names have changed. So if I click on this over here, insert data, I have some data fields that I can select, like 52-week, high, low, betas, change percentage, high, lows, PEs, and so on. So what I need is basically the price. So I will select that field, the price, and it instantly updates with the current price of the share. So also if I come and click here, it's showing me some additional data about Apple, and this is the data source. So the data source is Refinitiv. So this is a dynamic connection. Now when the data source updates, the current new price will get updated here. So like stocks, you can get currency data also. If you see under data types next to stocks, you got currencies. So here also you can give some currencies on the workbook and then get that data from the link over here. Getting data from a PDF is a common situation we have to deal with. So here in this PDF document, I want to take in this table from this page and I want to insert it into Excel. So if I copy and paste this into Excel like this, the formatting, everything, is going to be a mess. So I will have to basically work hard to rectify that. So the easy way is to connect to Power Query and extract the data. So I just need to come to data. Here under get data, I'll go to from file and I will select from PDF. So once I select that, I just need to go and find my file. So it's over here on my desktop. So I click on that and say import. So once it's updated the connection, you can see different pages on the PDF and then the tables available on those. So like this we can see. So the preview is given here. So what we need is basically so this is basically the table that I want to take in. So Canada 2012 14.06. So that's the same figures we got here. So this is basically the table I need to import onto Excel. So I can just select that and click on load. So now it's getting the connection and getting the data. So now you can see it has got nicely imported onto Excel as a table form. So it's coming in as a table form with all the columns and everything nicely sorted. Formatting is also fine. So it's much more easier than copy pasting and then doing all that formatting. So all the data is nicely captured and exported to Excel. So this is the easiest way to import data from PDF documents onto Excel. So we will now look at a practical scenario where we can use Power Query. So on this folder called Power Query, I got some files inside these Power Query data files. So basically I got 3 years of order data for a company. So I got 2017, 18 and 19. So let's check what's inside the files. So here basically I got the fields order ID, customer ID, product ships, revenue, cost, order date, ship date, and the order status. So one of the painful things we have to do is clean data. So sometimes we need to spend a lot of time cleaning up data. For example, if you check in this customer ID field, so here you see the customer ID is there as well as the customer name. So here the customer ID and the customer name have been combined in one cell. So we will have to separate it out. And also under product shipped, there's a dollar sign in front of all of these numbers. So these are actually quantities. So we need to remove the dollar signs because these are quantities. And we got revenue column, cost column, and I need to insert a profit column as well and calculate the profit. And I got the order date and the ship date. I also want to calculate number of days it takes to ship an order. So as you can see, there's a bit of manual work I need to do. And also I have 3 years of data here, which I have to clean up. And also when new data comes in for 2020, for example, I need to do the same work on that new workbook as well. So let's see how Power Query can help us to clean up this data and automate these tasks. So let's open up a new workbook. Control N. And I will close this 2017 workbook. So the first thing I need to do is get the data into Power Query. To do that, I will go to Data, Get Data, and from File. And my data is located inside a folder. So I will select From Folder. And then I will go to my folder. I have to give the folder name here. So I go to my data folder. And from here, I will copy the address of that folder and come into here and paste the folder name. So this is where my data is located, the folder, and click on Open. So this opens up another prompt. So I can see Excel's Power Query has found 3 different files, 2017, 18, and 19. They were inside the folder. So that's fine. So down below, you'll see there are 4 buttons over here. So we have 3 different workbooks here and 3 sheets of data. So I want to combine them. So I need to click on the Combine button to do that. The transform data button allows me to basically modify the data before pulling them into Microsoft Excel or Power BI. So when we looked at the data, we saw a few changes we want to do. For example, we want to get rid of a dollar sign, and then we wanted to split the customer name and then the customer ID. And then we wanted to do some other formula calculations like profit. Then we wanted to do some other calculations like calculating profit. So all of these are the transformations we need to do. The load button basically just loads all of this data into one workbook. So I can combine all of these different workbooks and the three sheets into one workbook. So the load button basically just loads that data into Excel without doing any transformations or cleaning up. If I click down on this combine button, I see three options. So basically I want to combine all these three files together and I want to transform them also. So I will click on combine and transform data. This opens up another prompt where I can now combine all of my files which I saw earlier. It allows me to look at a sample file from here. So I can just click here and just I'll take 2017 file and click here, order data. Now I see kind of a preview of the file's data. So I don't see all the data, but I see a preview of some of the records. So all the records are not here. It's just a preview for me to see whether everything's fine. So I got the order ID, all those column headings are there, field headings are there. So that's fine. So I can also look at other years as well. So I'll just leave it at 2017. So this is just a preview. So this order data is basically the sheet name, which is common in all of these three workbooks. So since the data is all fine, I can click on OK. Now basically I'm in the Power Query editor. So this is not an Excel workbook. This is the Power Query editor. And the name is given over here. So this is our Power Query editor. So this is basically the interface of the Power Query editor. So let's look around and see what's available. So here we see the queries on this side. And here we got in the middle the sample data of the file 2017. So as we are doing edits and changes, we can see how it changes with this sample file. So whatever transformations we are doing here will get applied to all 3 years of the data or the 3 files in the folder. On this side, applied steps. These are basically the steps or the transformations that are applied, like removing columns and so on. And you will see when we do changes, this will keep on updating. So it's like a recorded macro. It records all of the steps that we do to transform the data. And these are called applied steps. So next time when the data updates, these steps will be applied to all of the data. Here on the top, we see kind of a ribbon, so which is on most of the Microsoft applications. So here at the bottom on the status bar, it says column profiling based on top 1000 rows. So it's basically showing this preview based on the top 1000 rows in the source data. Now, if you see the first field called source name, I don't need this in my data. So what I'm going to do is I will do a right click and click remove. So it's basically the column has now gone. And if you notice on the apply steps at the end, we have removed columns. So this is a new step that I have done. So it's getting updated on the apply steps list. I can also click here and delete this step. So then what happens is the column comes back and it's like a undo. So, and it has changed here. So anyway, I don't need this. I will just delete it again. Right click and remove. And on the order ID field, you see some X's. And these are kind of markers we have put in. I don't want it in the final data. So I want to filter this out. So it's very easy because here we got filters. I just click on that and you see all of the data like a normal filter in Excel. So let me come down and I got all the X's here. So I click that. So it's removed from the data set. I click OK. And now it has basically removed the X's. So there won't be an X's here. And here you will see in the apply steps, it says filtered rows. So I have applied a filter to remove the X marks. So that's getting reflected on the apply steps. So it's basically recording all the steps like the macro recorder. Now the other change I want to do is in the customer ID. I got customer ID and the customer name combined together in this field. So I want to separate it out. So I will come onto the customer ID column header, right click. And then I go to split column. And I want to split by a delimiter. So there's a dash here. So I click on by delimiter. So the delimiter is here, the dash. So there's a space in front and I will put a space afterwards because there's space after the delimiter dash as well. So I will keep a space like that. Now I will click OK. And see immediately customer ID is now in a separate column and customer name is in a separate column. And here it says change type split column by delimiter. And now by default it has named this custom ID.1 and custom ID.2. So I will go and change the custom ID first name for the code. So I will come here, double click, and that takes me to edit mode. And I will remove the dot and the 1, so it changes to custom ID. So now it's changed to custom ID. Rename columns comes here. So that's fine. So I will change this also. I will double click here and I will type customer name. So now it's updated to customer name. And I want to now look at more data. So I will minimize the queries here by clicking on this arrow. It says minimize navigator pane. So that's now minimized. So now I got revenue field and the cost field. I want to calculate a profit field. So to arrive at the profit, I need to minus the cost from the revenue. So the first field I need is revenue field. So I will select that with the mouse. Then I will press Control button and click the cost column like this. And on the ribbon, I will go to Add Column here. And if I come down here, you see there's a section called From Number. And then there's Standard. I click on Standard. And here I basically give the mathematical function I want to do. So basically from the sales column, I need to reduce the cost column to arrive at profit. So I go to Subtract and select that. And see on the main data, a new field has come called Subtraction. So that's basically what it has done is it's taken the revenue and reduced the cost from that. So here it says insert a subtraction on the apply steps. So this is basically the profit. So I need to bring it near to cost. So what I can do is I can click with the mouse and come and drag and drop it next to cost. So basically I got now the revenue, the cost, and then the subtraction is actually the profit. So here also you'll notice on these column headings, on the corner you see 1, 2, 3 like this. So these are because these are numbers, 1, 2, 3. And here these are dates. So you get a kind of a date icon. So it's basically identifying the data type by this icon at the corner. So subtraction I need to change. So I will double click on the heading and I will type in profit. So I got profit calculation done. Now the revenue, cost and profit needs to be currency. So I will click on revenue, keep control pressed down and select cost and profit. And I will do a right click and go to change type. And you see at the moment it's a whole number. I need to change that to currency. So I will click on currency. So now it's changed to $sign because now it's in currency format. Now I need to calculate the time to ship as well. We got the ship date and then the order date. So calculate the time for shipping. I need to take the ship date and from that I need to minus the order date. So I will select first the ship date, press Ctrl and click on the order date. And now because these are dates, I will go to this date icon, click down and click on subtract days. And again I got another subtraction field. So this is basically days to ship. So I will rename that days to ship. And I will drag it next to shipping date. So I got the order date, shipping date, and days to ship. Now all of the applied steps are now recorded over here. So if I want, I can also change the sequence of these steps. So basically these steps at the top happen first and then subsequently these last steps happen. So if I want to change the order, I can then just drag and drop this like this as well. So sometimes it doesn't make sense, so it will create error. So I can pull it back again. So likewise, I can click and drag and drop the sequence of the steps as well. So now I have gone through the data and I have made a number of transformations to my data. So when I do these transformations, not only am I changing the data, I'm also recording the steps that I have done. So I can basically apply these to new data as they come available. So let's say now I have completed all my data cleanup transformations, everything. I'm happy with the result. And I can look at the preview here and see whether everything is fine. Then I can go to home. And here at the corner you see close and load. It will close the Power Query editor and load the data into Excel. So I will click here, close and load. Now I am basically back in Excel and there's a tab called Power Query and my data is in the Power Query sheet. And you should notice now all my 3 workbooks of data actually are combined together now. So here on the shipping date, you'll see 2018, 17, 19. So basically, all 3 workbooks of data or 3 years of data are now combined together. And all of the transformations cleanup I did have been applied to all 3 data sets. Now, we'll notice on your workbook, on your right-hand side, there is a pane. If I bring it over here, so now I can see the sample of the data again. So let's insert a pivot table. I will click somewhere inside the data, go to Insert, and click on Pivot Table. So now it says table range is the Power Query. So I'll go for a new worksheet and say OK. So I will select from here for the fields. So let's click on Order Date. So now I got the 3 years here. Then I will add the profit as the sigma values. So I got a summary here of the 3 years and the profits earned for each of the years and the grand total. Now I have just received the 2020 data as well. So the 2020 data file is there. Now in the past, I would have to go through all of the changes manually on that file also. But now since I'm using Power Query, all I need to do is just drop that file into this folder where the other 3 files are located, and Power Pivot will basically do the transformations and combine them together into one file. So let's go to my main folder here. It's on the desktop. So my Power Query folder has 3 years of data. Now this is the new 2020 file. So I will drag and drop that into the Power Query folder. So now 2020 is also included inside the folder. So if I go back to my file over here, so now if I go to the Power Query sheet and come down, you see the 2020 file is also in the same sheet. So it has updated with the 2020 data, and all of the transformations we applied for 2017, 18, and 19 have been already applied to this data. And it's in combined one file. Since pivot table won't automatically update, I need to refresh it. I will go to pivot table analyze and go to refresh option and click on refresh all. And now I see 2020 also got added. So all of the 4 years of data is now in the same file and cleaned and transformed. So every end I have to do this cleanup of the data and combining. So Power Query basically sorts it out for me. All I need to do is take the new file for the new year and add it to the folder, and Power Query will do the transformations and combine it into one workbook like this. So that's the beauty and the power of Power Query. It automates your transformations. Combining files is automated. It's basically like running a macro and getting all of your data transformed and combined.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to check out our top-selling CPD certified Excel courses and our awesome Excel training app. Our innovative Excel training app allows you to take our Excel courses inside your Excel application itself, giving you a truly immersive learning experience.